Yeah, the shining golden signs. Let your inner sparking night. Fat treasure, growing bright.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Kamen Spike back again once again, and today we're from No.1 Sentai Gozyuger, episode 42. And in this episode, Kuon fuses together with Tegajun. They become one. Bouquet and Rikuo makeup, stuff like that. I think he's brought her back with us. Tegajun tried to re-educate our boy Goodburn, but he was a bad little boy, and him being a bad little boy got him out of there. We had some wacky little fights in between every now and then. We had like a Toy Story kind of fight that was going on. We got to explore the No.1 world. Well, really just the No.1 world, Baraidon Castle. It felt kind of weird. It felt kind of cool. You know, it was actually pretty cool seeing, the outside, versus the outside of the Baraidon, castle and stuff. We got to see like this big, their big castle and everything outside and things like that. I like the scenery a lot in this episode. It was really cool. Kuon portraying Tegajun throughout all of this was expected. He says that, hey, all the rings have been stolen and stuff like that, and it turns out he's the one that stole all the rings, and he's been planning on betraying Tegajun this whole time. And he explains why Tegajun has actually gotten weaker. She has a bug in her system, and that's why Ribbon was an anomaly the way she was. How Ribbon actually had like a little secret plot in betraying everybody. Byakuya and Bouquet, their fight and everything was actually pretty cool. Him appealing to her and trying to get her back, and getting her to love him again, and she was like, I can't do it. Then he ended up getting her back and ended up defeating her in a really cool mech fight. Really dope. I thoroughly did it. I really did like this mech fight. It was a lot, but I still did like this mech fight. I did also like how how we just exploring the No.1 world. The whole fight between everybody was actually really good too on both sides. I like how everybody was fighting. I like how Fire Candle was talking to Hodu while they were fighting. He's like, man, he's like, yeah, fighting you is always so awesome. And then Hodu was like, well, fighting you was always a freaking pain. Like it was dope. I love the banter between the characters in this episode as well, especially with Shining Knife talking to Green and telling him that, hey, when I went berserk, you were the one that got me out of, you were the one to get me back to my senses. And he thanked him for that, but also he said, hey, we still enemies though, we still finna fight each other. Like, I like that stuff like that. I think Baraidon is like some of the some of the maybe like the coolest villains that I like throughout. Like, these are like the coolest villain type characters have really taken a liking to when it comes down to Sentai. I mean, I like the R3 from Dawn Brothers. I like them. They came around eventually, but I do like Baraidon. I like their personalities. I like these characters thoroughly, and sometimes I want to see them win, like especially when they went after Rai, when they fought Rai and God, I forgot the monster dude that was inside of him, the calamity that was inside of him. But when they all went and fought Rai, like, I loved that. I was heavily rooting for Baraidon because Rai was a piece of dookie. But this episode greatly did a lot for me. I feel like it didn't feel rushed at all. Like, we saw what everybody was doing all throughout the episode, with Tegajun trying to re-educate Goodburn, and we see like a softer side to Tegajun, a softer / like motherly side to Tegajun, and she tries. The only thing I hated was like they were basically treating Goodburn like an actual freaking little kid, like a baby. They were treating him like a baby. Like, they was reading him storybooks and putting him in like super babyfied rooms and having him watch puppet shows and stuff like that. Like, Goodburn's freaking a teenager, like, at this point. Like, bro's literally a teenager, or maybe he's at least maybe a 10 or like 9 or 10 years old. Like you don't need to be doing all this baby stuff for him. But yeah, just Sekishun trying to get him to understand that, hey, you are the key for us to creating a whole new world and stuff like that. And he was like, nah, I want to stay with, Mr. Mashido and stuff like that. He wants to stay with him because, that's his friend, that's his god, and and Mashido was really, really concerned for him. Like, he was really trying to get Goodburn back, and I love that. We weren't able to corrupt Goodburn. Like, we didn't even get close, really. But yeah, man, this episode, I did like how Kuon kind of just came in. He kind of came in and betrayed Tekijun by exploiting her weakness, and ended up becoming one with her. And now he has this big ugly white piece of hair hanging off of his head, and then one of his eyes turned white, and his Tekijun ring actually like shatters. And I'm thinking like, okay, well, is he we see in the episode, we see in the next episode preview that he is still going to be able to transform into Garud, even though I mean, it makes sense that he's able to still turn into a Garud because he's still using powers and stuff like that. So most likely, yeah, I would have liked to have seen like maybe it'll get like a power up or something. Maybe it'll look different, maybe something like that, or have some new abilities or something. Maybe that'll happen. But yeah, Garud, I already knew that bro had his own secret little plan anyway. I made a video about that like maybe a couple of months ago, talking about how Kuon is maybe, I thought that he was involved with the calamity, the calamity. I felt like he was going to be involved with that, but turns out no. Turns out bro is like, actually he was a traitor. I was right about that, but also he's out for it on his own. Like, it's his own decision. He's not being manipulated by anybody, so we know, but he's not being manipulated by anybody or ordered by anybody to do anything. So I do thoroughly do like that. Like, he had his own agenda. The only thing I don't like about it is that Kuon was like, he hasn't been around like that. Like, we haven't seen that much of him. I mean, we had a couple of episodes where he's been in there, and in one episode where he was like one of the main characters for that episode. But for a while, like, we didn't even see Kuon. So it's like, what was bro doing? I guess he was out collecting rings, I guess. But for Baraidon, he was out there collecting rings. But other than that, like, this episode, it did feel like we're getting close to the ending of Gozyuger. Now that Kuon is basically like the main villain now. But now that he's fused together with Tekijun, does that scar go away? Because he absorbed her into it, so now he has like all her powers. But since he absorbed her, does that mean? So what about the What about the No.1 monster, the creation No.1? What about that No.1? Isn't that No.1 wasn't that No.1 inside of Tekijun? So does he have the powers of that No.1 now? Maybe we'll get a glimpse of that. Maybe they'll talk about it, because like, they can't just bring up a super important No.1 like that, and especially with especially the person that No.1 is possessing, and just like toss it to the wayside. Like, that thing's got to come back eventually, and I do feel like that thing was still inside of Tekijun. And also, she should have gotten more powerful now that she found her real, like, definitive, like, pilot. Like, doesn't that mean she got stronger? Now she found her true pilot. Just her true pilot is technically her mother, the woman who created her. So it's just like, what happened to that? I kind of want to, like, what happened to that? Is that gonna return anytime soon? It has to. It was too important, like, especially with the context behind it. That's way too important to just throw away. Now that, and then plus Kuon has like absorbed her, so does that mean he absorbed the other two? Maybe we'll find out. I hope so, because you can't just throw out a super important No.1 like that way. But man, I did love this episode though. I mean, it's classic Gozyuger, good fighting and stuff like that. Next episode is going to be a Christmas episode, but it's still going to be a very serious episode. I'm going to see the brothers fight each other again. And they're going to have a Naruto and Sasuke moment. But man, I did love this episode. It was actually pretty good. If you made this far in the video, I thoroughly do appreciate it. You guys are the ish. You're cool. Thank you, Kevin. But other than that, you guys, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about this episode, man. What you think about the Byakuya and Bouquet fight, the Kuon betrayal thing going on. Do you feel like it came out of nowhere? Because I slightly do, but yeah, man, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about this episode of #1 Sentai Gozyuger. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, as remember, as I always say, stay head shaped.